Gonna change the world.
And this season's over.
With my hockey stick.
No more NHL.
Gonna
hockey.
make
It just began.
a real difference.
Golf season,
Feed the
right?
poor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
heal.
It really does feel like it's almost July.
It is
It's like
almost
the
July.
last game, but then there's a couple trades, and then what is it? August, September. September is preseason already.
We got the draft coming up like this week.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine going all the way to Game 7 and then not winning it.
Oh,
And then your summer is shortened.
oh.
And
And like
And you
that's
lost.
that has to be so much worse than getting bounced in the first round.
a goal
Game 7.
away. A goal away.
Oh.
Just needed that one. And McDavid had the game on his
stick, that little
stick.
deflection
He
shot.
just-
Oh,
No, not even the deflection. There was a point shot. He
and
grabbed
then-
it, and he goes left, right, and he just had to do this. He just had
did
to,
Hyman not get
It was-
hooked on that play?
no,
Sorry, Jared. It was right to left.
whatever.
He's
right
lefty.
To left. It was
yes.
right to left.
It was a-
Yeah,
it was
I
a right to
can't
left.
believe they didn't
Right.
score.
He just had to do this, and
Yeah.
and just a little boop. He would have booped it in the net, and Gustav Forsling takes
Oh
his
my.
stick and puts it over top.
Oh, then
just-
Hyman had a got
Yes.
his. I think there might have been a hook
Monter
there.
lifted
I
his
think there
stick,
could have been
or
a little
like
bit of a hook
hooked
guys there that
Yeah.
didn't let him get the shot away. Should have been.
But
a penalty.
honestly, that one moment where McDavid it would have been a tie game, and Forsling's just stops him.
Maybe if McDavid wasn't so gassed, he could have had faster hands
They should have played him for 8 minutes straight instead of
instead of 5.
yeah.
Before we get into that, okay.
He would
Before,
have got his runner's breath.
before we get into this,
Yeah.
I had a issue that I want to bring
Alright.
up.
most
Must be really important.
The most important
Yeah.
pressing
I want to hear it.
issue
What is it?
Thank you.
for the boys to talk about right now.
Right now, I just wanted to get the podcast started with this. It's like the other day, I don't go to McDonald's often. Okay, I'm not going there often. But the other day, I don't know, I had a little itch to get a little Big Mac. And
It's a little itch.
that little intrusive thought,
Ooh,
I executed on my intrusive
you
thought.
executed.
And I went over there, I buzzed over. I said, you know what, I'm going to get a double Big Mac.
Double.
And I said, no fries, no drink, okay?
Oh, that's healthy.
I just want the sandwich.
Mhm.
Okay, just the sandwich, just the sandwich.
It's got lettuce on it. That's healthy.
And a cup of water.
Right, a double Big Mac.
To
no
wash it
water.
down.
I brought my water with me because I
Mhm.
always have my little quench water bottle there
Oh,
everywhere
yeah.
I go. And
A big-
I order a double B, right? Not a single B because the double B's fresher. Because if you get a single B, they have them like already.
Ah,
made, like,
Oh yeah.
That's
go
a
double trouble, yeah.
that's legit. That's a good play right there.
Very good play.
They,
Yeah.
they got the single bees just sitting underneath, like it had fallen off and it got swept underneath the thing, and they're like, "Oh, someone!" And they scooped it out and they just threw
Yeah,
it
there
in.
might be some hair in there.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
single B. So I went double B, and I want a chicken snack wrap. Okay, no fries though.
Whew.
I was hungry.
Grilled or crispy?
Crispy. I probably should have got grilled, but I'm at McDonald's. I'm not going grilled. If you're getting grilled at McDonald's, that defeats the purpose of going to McDonald's.
You know,
You go to McDonald's to be unhealthy.
wow, when you
okay?
get it crispy, it goes straight to your hips, man.
I know. I need it to go straight to my hips. I'm trying to put some size on. So I had let intrusive thoughts take over, and I headed over to McDonald's.
So what's the issue?
I order a double big. I get the little thing. I get the carton that says double big or
Mhm.
double on it. It says double, so
Yeah.
it's got to be the double Big Mac.
Gotta be.
That's why I went to the drive-through. Lazy, just lazy. Just it was a lazy day
Mm.
ordering McDonald's to the drive-through. Like couldn't have gone in and ordered it. No, I had to go through the drive-through, and then I decided to eat it, eat it in the parking lot.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So I wasn't gonna drive
no move,
away.
No,
You got to eat it while it's hot.
Yeah, I
you
gotta
know?
eat it while it's hot.
You don't want to go in, but you also want to eat it right away.
you cram that thing into your face in a nice,
Immediately.
quiet, like corner spot underneath the,
And then
the shade of a little
And
tree.
then someone sees your car, pulls up in front of you or beside you, and they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's like it was. Someone actually did pull up.
Yeah,
I
and then
was-
you kind of feel some shame, and you're like, no.
But this
leave
was
me
11
alone."
o'clock at night, so there was
Okay.
the whole parking lot was open. It's like a Walmart.
Yeah.
The whole. So I'm not even parked in a parking spot. I'm like on a diagonal, taking up like 4
Mhm.
spots, and then someone like comes in directly. So I'm like diagonally staring at them, and I'm like, this is kind of awkward, but I'm not moving.
No,
So I open up, so I take it out of the bag.
you're both shame eating your McDonald's.
Yeah, it's just shameful act.
Don't
is what
look
it
at me.
is. Don't go get McDonald's if you're listening to this right now. But I open this up, and man, was this thing ever tiny. I started looking through the patties. I'm like, how many patties are on a double Big
It's got to be
Mac?
4, yeah.
Is there 4?
It's supposed to be 4, yeah.
Bro, I don't know. I think they gave me a single. I don't know. This thing was so small.
Okay.
I probably put this back in under a minute. Like,
Mm.
I'm a quick eater, but like this was not a double Big Mac. I remember when I was getting the double Big Mac before, it was like a big double Big Mac. It was heavy. I swear the chicken snack wrap was heavier than the double Big Mac.
Jeez.
I could not believe it. I start eating this thing, and like I gotta make a TikTok right now because the Big Mac has shrunk, and it's gone up in price.
Oh, of course.
Has it?
And-
But they would say has it shrunk or have you just got bigger?
Oh, your hands
so-
are
so-
just bigger.
So that's what my question was on TikTok. It was, did the Big Mac shrink or is Coach Chippy just a beast?
No, you're a beast.
That was
yeah.
that was the TikTok I made.
I believe it. Yeah.
And
Maybe a little bit of both.
I think it's a bit of both for sure. I just couldn't believe how quickly I ate this double Big Mac, and it didn't even fill me up. Like I was like, thank goodness I ordered the snack wrap, the chicken snack wrap.
This is inexcusable.
It's not a burger anymore. It's just a sandwich.
What you got to do now is instead of ordering the double Big Mac, you order the bigger
like a
double.
triple Big
No,
Mac.
you say
like-
double Big Mac, but make it with the quarter pounder patties. So now you've got
Ooh.
4 quarter pounder
Will they even
patties.
do
And that will
that?
be plus $4.
That's a protein. It's a protein.
Have you
pack.
done that before?
I used to when I worked at McDonald's
Oh.
and things were half price.
Yes,
Right.
That's nice.
But like, will they even let you do that? Because I know that now there's not even modifications you can do for that type.
Oh,
of
really?
Yeah, like I tried to do
dress
like
it like a Mac or whatever.
I tried to do like a quarter pounder dressed like a Mac, and they're like, no.
or they'll charge extra $3.50.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's-
they
it's-
charge like
yeah.
$3 more just to convert it. I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
it's
ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah.
You used to do it for free.
They charge you like $1 for the sauce.
You can do it if you order a quarter pounder with like nothing on it, or just like lettuce and whatever you want on it,
Yeah.
and then just get mac sauce on the side. But like then you're assembling your own sandwich. Like, what are you
Yeah,
paying
it's
for?
unbelievable.
When,
It's
when I worked at McDonald's, I think I had like a 30,000 calorie lunch, and I scarfed that down in like 36 minutes.
Just to start the day, and then you have lunch later.
Oh.
This was just.
And are
like
you
the-
ever energized
brunch.
for the rest of your shift after that? Eh?
Oh yeah. Wow. Sometimes we slow and we just do like we cut out little curling rocks from we toast the bun
Mm.
and then cut a small curling rock, and then we'd sit on that nice smooth polished stainless steel counter,
Oh yeah.
and we would have games of curling
Mm,
with the.
just put a little salt on
We'd
it.
also do, yeah, exactly. Sprinkle it. And we do target practice with the pickles. So we'd stand where the toaster is, where you toast the buns, and we'd each grab like 5 pickles in the palm of our hand, and we'd throw them like this, and you have to get it to try to stick to the tile.
Employee of the year. Jared and his buddies working at the high school.
Share's photo's still on the
McDonald's.
wall.
But I never ate the food. That's what.
So you
my-
worked at Donnie's?
I did, yeah, when I was in grade 9.
No way. Okay, tell
Awesome.
us the behind the scenes. I've heard like once you've worked there, you don't want to eat it, but you're still eating it.
Oh, I ate the most of it when I was there. I'd pound back a 20 pack of nuggets and just
Oh,
because it was all half price. I'm like, this is incredible
this is-
for a growing child, right? I was
With no
13.
And that's-
even thought in your brain about if it's good for you or not. You're just
No.
like, no, I can fill.
Dude,
I can fill
I ate
myself
McDonald's
up."
every day in high
What?
school, bro.
yeah, my butt grew like three times the size.
I
like
was
the Grinch's heart.
I had to start wearing XXL boxer briefs.
Yeah, so I ordered this Don's, and I think everything's shrinking, but
Shrinkflation, bro.
yeah, as people are saying, we're shrinking.
And it costs the same or more.
yeah, probably way more. I've concluded that $20 is the new $10.
Yeah, it's almost a new 5.
It's like almost a new
Like,
five.
you can't
Like,
go any. You can't. Say someone gives you $20, but okay, thanks. Like, what do you
You
do
can
with this?
like my buddy. I was on Facetime with him. He was ordering Subway, and he gets like a Subway with the cookies and a drink. How much do you think it was?
$18.
Yeah.
$18.50.
I've been to Subway a few times.
$18.50.
Try getting the double meat.
That used to be like $12. Used to be insane. You're getting a combo. I'm like, oh, that must be like the supreme fuck.
It sucks because I love Subway, but when I get double meat at Subway, it costs like
Oh,
way
there you-
more.
oh,
But like
best it
it's
ever.
about the same amount of meat as you get at Firehouse Subs for like the
Yeah,
same price,
Firehouse
and that's
Subs
like
is fire.
hot, fresh deli meat
Yeah.
or like
That's
brisket.
easy on the
you know?
that's easy on the word fresh.
I'm gonna
That's
start
easy on the word fresh. That's
Okay.
coming out of a package.
with the cost of groceries and food and all that stuff. It's almost worth it. Just put a small pen in your backyard and start raising your own pigs and
I
cows.
think so too.
Right?
Like at
Get some cattle.
Firehouse, you can see the fridges. They have like the
Yeah.
meat there. They cut it
but
themselves. Like it's
do
fresh.
they? Do
Firehouse
they?
is
Do
good.
they though?
Yeah,
Well,
they do.
Firehouse is great. It's great, but they don't trick me. They're
Well,
not
like-
tricking me to thinking it's fresh.
I mean,
They're making it
it's
in a lab.
It's
or
from the
whatever.
fridge, and they cut it right
It's in a
there.
lab, right?
Yeah.
They're assembling. They're putting whatever they're putting in it.
all I know is I have a decent sized backyard, and I am going to.
Should we go?
I'm-
Should we go split ski on a cow?
Yeah, I think we should.
And
Well,
ra-
well,
raise
here's
it
the
together?
thing. Your parents have a decent size.
Give it
yard.
quench. It'll
Yeah,
grow
that's good,
3
okay,
times
okay.
as big. Eh?
So
Yeah, exactly.
we're feeding that
No
cow
water.
quench.
No
Quench
water.
cow.
Just
Quench
quench.
cow. Water your crops with quench too.
Yeah.
It's got what plants need. It's got a
It's like I saw a
electrolytes.
TikTok guy gave his dying plant Baja Blast, like from Taco Bell. It's like I wanted it to experience it just once.
I actually don't know what Baja Blast is.
I know
so-
I've heard heard it's
over
really
my
good. I've
head.
never had it, but
What is it?
it's just like a
A
mixture.
spray?
It's like a pop from Taco Bell.
I'm gonna go get me some Baja Blast.
That would be a funny campaign. That would be a good marketing campaign on TikTok, like feeding your
So,
plants.
so I've got a strategy for us.
Yeah, let's go.
Hayden, your parents have a decent yard. We can get
Yeah,
you in
like-
on this.
Like almost an acre, not quite.
Almost an acre. This is incredible. All right. So I've got a decent sized yard here, lots of grass.
Yeah.
I'll put the cows to pasture here.
Nice.
Chippy, you're pulling up all the sod and lawn at your parents' place.
Perfect.
You're planting potatoes, and Hayden, you're on onions.
Just onions.
Just onions.
Onions, just
Onion
onions.
crop.
That's true.
Potato crop.
All we need is onions.
And I got the beef.
Mm.
At the end of the season, we go all harvest. I'll send the
Yes.
cows to butcher and
Start our own trading company.
exchange. Like, so you get a third of the beef.
Yeah.
Yeah,
each,
everyone gets
and then
a
we
third
split
of the
potatoes. That should last us the winter.
Mike can do the beaver tail, like the beaver felts, right? Like for our clothes too.
That'll be good. That'll be good. No, that's good. Why are you guys laughing? It's
we're
not
we're
funny.
trying to curb inflation
Not
and
funny,
the
this is
rising cost of
serious.
groceries here.
Serious. Hayden.
Sorry,
I think we could survive off of some
No,
tubers,
this is
some
serious stuff.
roots,
Yeah, you guys are joking around, but I'm being serious because like
meat and potatoes.
meat and potatoes all we need. And
Well, I'm not. What? I don't need grass. That's
You
for
go
sure.
to
I can't eat the grass.
you go to grocery store and
I mean, you could.
it's
just-
honestly laughable the prices of everything.
People are paying like $6 for one apple.
Like when are we just gonna like overthrow everything and be
Just
like,
chill.
yo, we're not paying $20 for a foot long sub when it used to be $5. It was $5
Mm.
when I was
$5 foot
9.
long.
That's like less than
$5.
13.
$5
Yeah, but what happened to
foot
$5
long.
foot long?
Yeah.
There ain't no you can't get anything for $5 now.
Yeah.
Like $5 and everyone talks about it. Everyone like but what are we gonna do about it? Everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone's like wants to complain about it.
I'll tell you what,
What are
you
we
do
gonna
about
do
it.
about it?
Tell you what you do
What
about
do
it.
we do about it?
You start making your own bread and growing your own cucumbers and lettuce.
I'm thinking about running for
No,
prime minister.
I think you just
I
make
think
a
I'm gonna run for
TikTok
prime
about it
minister.
every day.
I'm gonna run for prime minister, I think.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ice cube sandwich guy? Have you
Your
seen the-
campaign is everything is too expensive.
Have you seen the ice cube sandwich guy?
No.
Oh,
Where he's
No.
like he's like
he's trying to fill up on Ice Cube.
he goes, "Hey JT, like glad you're on your private jet, but I'm just over here eating my ice cube sandwich."
Oh gosh.
Just putting ice cubes between the bread. It's like, hey, hopefully you're enjoying your private jet over. I'm just eating a good meal here. Got my ice cubes, got my sandwich.
Oh my gosh.
Should fill me up until it
is
melts. Then I'll be a little hungry.
hilarious.
But
Here's the thing.
But I
though.
do think I want to run for prime minister.
You should, because we need a man of the people.
Yeah, you
Right?
think so?
Someone
I think
who-
so too.
But you can't get rich though. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want
Yeah.
a rich prime minister. I want a man. I want a working class man. I want right.
anyone in
The
poverty?
merch is gonna move though.
Oh, you're gonna.
You gotta stay afloat. How am I gonna
Right?
fund the private jet across the country?
You got a horse and buggy, bud.
Yeah,
gotta
horse and buggy. How am I gonna afford the
take
feed
public-
those horses?
Public
with
transit.
with the prices of everything.
Eat grass. Horses eat grass. That's good.
Do they? We gotta grow the sod. I don't even want to know what it is to go to the sod place and buy some sod. I don't even want to know the price of the sod now.
If you ran for prime minister, what would be your slogan that you're going to put on the shirt so you can sell
Make
that
Canada
merch?
great again.
That's you're just doing the Trump approach. Make Canada great again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Broke, don't fix it, baby. We gotta make Canada great again, bro. Canada used to be great, and now what happened? You cannot tell me Canada did not used to be great.
You know what? I think we just grew up. Is it that?
I swear when I was like 9, it was like the best place ever. Canada was like it just
Same.
felt
I felt the same as when I was a
everything
kid.
booming. Obviously we were in a booming market. What's it?
Yeah.
What's the not in a recession? Now we're in a
No,
recession.
yeah.
But what's the word? A booming
Bull?
market. Bull market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything was bulling. Everything was bulling, and now
Bowling.
everything's like
Bear.
bulling in price.
There was the
Prices are bulling now.
there was the .com era. Then there was the housing collapse, and then everything started from there.
Beautiful,
So
then
it's
there was
easy
a-
for it to keep getting
But-
better from there.
But I remember also having such a great I'm so proud to be Canadian.
I know. I don't even want to
And-
sing the
and
anthem
Cana-
anymore.
and-
I'm like, I don't even want to sing the anthem anymore,
And
bro.
like Canada was so much better than
Yeah.
America because we're
Now
polite
we're
and
awful.
We're free.
It's like we're an
all this-
embarrassment. Everyone's like, oh, they're from Canada.
But is it just that you grew up? Is that the only
No way, bro.
Can our
I'm like the same age as you were back then.
yeah?
It was just better. Like it was when you grow up. I mean, I'm 25 now.
But would are my kids gonna feel very proud to be Canadian until they grow up and then they find they hear the news?
Oh, they're gonna-
about things.
There's not even gonna be countries. We're gonna be in a digital world. We're gonna be in the meta land. There's gonna be no country. We're just gonna be living in meta world. Crypto.
All right, so implement some changes to make Canada great again.
Implement some changes.
Does everyone have to
Number
enroll
one,
in the
make
army?
Subway cheaper.
First of all, yeah.
Make Subway cheap.
Fast
Make
food
the Big Macs
restaurants
bigger.
lower your prices now.
Okay,
Every fast food restaurant has to lower their prices.
so everyone's got to
so
get fat.
It can kill more people.
Oh
should-
gosh.
Your first thing is to pass a legislature
I'm
that
joking. That was a joke. If you guys didn't understand that.
Okay.
false
But it is. It's
advertising.
poison.
No,
It's poison.
You're banning candy.
We're banning poisonous.
No chocolate bars
no,
anymore.
poisonous products
Yeah.
are cheaper. Because that's what we're complaining about right now. We're complaining that the poison's not cheap enough. That's what we're complaining about. You know what? Maybe they should be. Maybe we should raise the prices of all this fast food so it deters people from eating it.
Fat tax.
Fat tax. No, I don't like the word fat. It's not a word. It's not a
No.
nice word to call anyone.
I can't
fat.
say that. No, I didn't say it.
know what I mean?
It's there's
Not a good
sugars.
word.
There's vitamins. There's fat, like fat content of fatty
Oh,
foods.
fatty
foods.
food. Okay, that's allowed.
Not taxing.
It's allowed. You're allowed to say that. In my country, you're allowed to say that.
It's like a carbon tax, but for
If-
fatty foods.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So don't call,
Drive
it,
through.
don't call it
Like,
fat tax. Call it
drive-
fatty tax.
I think you should get a discount if you go into the store and walk in. Because I remember if you're going through the drive-through, you should.
Sugar tax too.
You know what?
If anything has a
I think
high,
I would just remove taxes.
no tax.
No one's got to pay any tax.
We're not allowed to look at
I
ourselves.
don't like that you didn't let me look at myself. Hayden just moved the monitor so I can't stare at myself. It's just tough, but
Okay.
I think
It's tough.
we remove taxes
Okay. Here it is.
because the roads are terrible.
No.
We're paying these taxes because of the roads.
I got it, dude. I just
Come on,
I-
no, it's
we just
private
figured out
jet
our
money
whole
for the big
campaign.
boy up top.
Okay. We just figured out our whole campaign strategy right here. So you lower income taxes because everyone hates working hard and then having the government take it away
It's
from them.
disgusting.
And to make back that money you're losing from lowering the income tax,
Yeah.
you apply it to anything that is not healthy for you. So unhealthy foods are taxed higher, candy, sugars taxed higher. Instagram, TikTok, all these social media companies, you tax them higher.
We'll be looking
because-
like Switzerland people by
Yeah,
that's what I'm
in 10
saying.
years.
It's gonna be China.
but then people are like, I can't afford to eat
You know what?
healthy food, and you subsidize the healthy
Why don't we
stuff.
just let the country run itself?
Oh, okay, so it's
everyone says, "Oh, it's gonna be absolute chaos," but you just gotta trust that human beings will figure it out, man.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We're being
No human destroys themselves.
no. I mean, we're destroying ourselves anyway with someone controlling. So it's like, what happens if we just let everyone govern? Everything just gets governed by itself.
Your campaign strategy changes quite quickly
Oof.
and quite
Hey, you got to be able to pivot.
drastic.
I'm a man of the people. I let the people decide. You know.
All right. Should we talk
Ugh, that was my little rant about the double.
Sense.
Florida
The
Panthers,
double Big
Edmonton
Mac
Oilers?
shrinking. It did shrink, and they didn't trick me. You're not fooling me. I'm just saying they're not. fooling me.
McDonald's, you done messed up.
Yeah.
You done goofed because you shrunk the Big Mac, and now Chippy's running for prime minister.
Yeah. So that Big Mac better double in size and half in price.
This is,
If you're gonna
take
stay in
notice.
business. If you want to stay in business, Donnie's.
Except they know they got you.
Donnie's.
You know, like everyone has that little tickle like you
Did-
had.
What business do you think McDonald's is in? Do you think they're in the food business?
real estate.
Oh, Jared's smart.
Well,
Donnie-
did you watch
Donnie's
that
in
movie?
real estate, baby. They're in real estate.
They own all their plots. and-
That's it. They don't
oh
even
boy.
care how much. They don't even probably. They don't care about how much money they're making on food. They're quadrupling their money every 2 years in their real estate investments.
Isn't that a
That's how
thing?
Smart I am.
Isn't that a
How
thing?
smart I am.
The companies don't really care the lasting effects that what they produce has on the people, as long as the people
As long as
are
the real
addicted
estate
and have to
triples in
keep coming
price
back.
every year. As long as the real estate triples in price, they're not worried. No, yeah, as long as they come back. It's like
As long as people come back, people aren't coming back for a nice
quantity. They want quantity of people.
nutrient dense salad. That's not attracting them. No one's getting addicted to salads.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe that ranch.
Maybe
sauce.
Gary
Maybe
Roberts.
Maybe that Caesar dressing. Maybe that Caesar dressing they put on there. You think
Dressing.
it's healthy, but you throw that cream Caesar on there, and now in the breaded chicken,
Okay. Would you be down for
the
this?
parm cheese.
Would you be down for this? Elon Musk partners with McDonald's. He puts a chip in everyone's brain that makes them addicted to healthy foods. So now McDonald's is just cranking out salads left, right, and
Why do
center.
I feel like this isn't like unrealistic in the next 25 years?
It's like the alt. So you just a little chip in your brain. Now all of a sudden you like things that are good for you.
Oh my God, how dangerous is that? Just that as a concept that you
It's-
can program people's brains to be addicted.
That's where we're
to these-
going. Though.
Elon
That's
Musk
what we're
working on the
doing. That's
Neuralink.
what we're
He's working on
doing.
the
We're
Neuralink.
doing that. We're doing that. Okay.
If it's for the
Okay.
betterment of
Is it
society.
yes or no answer? Would you get the chip?
The answer is no. You don't do that.
No?
No.
No.
Okay. No. This is a question. Yes or no? Will you in your lifetime put a chip in your brain?
No.
No, the CIA would have to force
No.
it in there.
you would have to
The
force it.
CIA put
Okay.
a chip in my
Okay, we
brain.
can continue the podcast because if you guys said I would get chipped, I would go on another 3 hours.
Wait, aren't you Chip?
But
Chippy?
Chip.
But hold on. It's going to happen because it won't be long before you can put just like it's non-invasive little thing, right? And oh, you just download Spanish.
Oh,
and
why
now,
not?
now you
yeah,
know
Yeah, the
Spanish.
people are gonna be like, oh, why not? Why
It's
wouldn't
the
I?
fast-
It's the people that are
Bro.
just, oh, why not? Why not? Yeah, then I'll
People
get
are
able to-
taking Ozempic because it's easier than eating healthy and exercising. Let's just take Ozempic and lose 50 pounds real quick. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't they
what's
put
this,
it?
Is that new? What's this word? Why am I hearing this word
Because
everywhere I go now? I didn't even know what it was. I actually still don't even know.
it's basically
What's a fat suction cup? Sucks your fat up? What's
I
going
don't know
on?
how it works, but apparently it just
Why
makes
is
you
It's for
lose
people
weight.
with
Why
diabetes.
is everyone talking about it?
But they found that there's a side effect that if you go on it, even if you're not diabetic, then you'll just lose a ton of weight.
Which is way
But it's
easier
unhealthy,
than
though.
just changing your diet and your unhealthy habits.
There's other side effects, and like
Oh yeah,
you don't want it. Like I don't know, people that do it, they're just like desperate.
people are getting pregnant like 50 years old now. People
wow.
are saying it's because they lost 50 pounds. I think that is not
I apologize.
very
I
nice.
apologize to the viewers for taking this podcast in this direction. We're talking about Ozempic now. I don't even know what it is, but we did have a big game last night.
Oh, now we're changing topics.
Yeah, I'll change back. I'll bring
Chippy's
it
ready
back.
to change.
I'll
so
bring
we're
it
good.
back.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back.
This episode is brought to you by Muskoka Brewery.
Oh, one of my favorite. No, my favorite craft brewer, Muskoka Brewery. You can get this delicious beer made in Muskoka pretty much everywhere. Is it LCBO, beer store,
In a grocery
stores?
store, yeah. And what beer are we talking about here, Jer?
Well, they got the Tread Lightly, which is their light beer. It's like a light lager.
Mm-hmm.
And they have dropped the price. It used to be a premium
Mm.
case, and now it is pretty comparable in price to all the other guys that you normally buy. Definitely recommend picking up that Tread Lightly. Great tasting local craft beer. And they actually just came out with another option, the Veer, which is a non-alcoholic beer. I love this actually.
I'm excited to try that.
Because I don't always, I'm trying to cut back on the alcohol a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a hazy IPA Veer.
I see here in the show notes something about 78% of people that drink alcohol also drink non-alcoholic drinks as a promotion of healthy lifestyles.
It's
That's where I'm
smart.
at over here. The
Yeah.
non-alcoholic drinks.
Hey, take a couple days off and grab the non-alcoholic version,
Jeez.
Mm.
right? Maybe that's your
All ingredients made in Muskoka.
yeah, all natural, dude.
Jeez.
So huge thanks to Muskoka Brewery for sponsoring the pod, and grab yourself some Tread Lightly or some non-alcoholic
The
beer.
Veer.
Available at LCBO Beer Store. Let's get back to the pod. I like
Bring
it.
it back.
What was your guys'
You're
thought about the game? Did you think that Florida deserved the win, or did Edmonton deserve to come back and send it to overtime? What did you think?
Oh, Jared's letting me go. I was waiting for Jared to speak.
Mm.
But
I glitched out. I
You
was
glitched
thinking,
out,
I was
yeah, you're
thinking
like-
if you put a chip in, that made you
Stop.
talk,
Oh my
and you
gosh.
could be better than McDavid.
that would be awesome.
This microchip.
I would do it.
But
Okay,
then everyone would have the chip. And
I predicted
Yeah.
what was going to happen last night.
You did. 2-1?
What did I say? I kept saying this. I said I don't know who's going to win it, but I know whoever scores the first goal
Oh, first goal.
will win the game.
Mm,
And who scored the first goal?
Florida.
Florida, and they won the game. So
Panthers.
I did predict that correctly.
Uncanny.
I don't remember this conversation. Maybe I was
Crazy.
tuned out.
I raped. Well, it's beautiful because you can go on my TikTok and an hour before the game, I predicted whoever was going to score.
Oh, on TikTok.
Yeah, and I've been saying it for about a week to everyone around me. I said
Now,
the first person.
On Instagram, I predicted that Edmonton was going to win the cup, but on TikTok, I predicted that the Panthers. So just as I predicted,
Hedging your bets.
Just kidding. It was a tight game, 2-1, and it's crazy that McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman and Bouchard, like all these guys, were shut down for this final game. That's nuts.
Bouchard had about 1,000 shots on net. He hit that post.
They were a lot from
Oof.
they were far out though, and like
They weren't getting them
no
through.
screens.
They were not getting them through. They were blocking everything.
So Florida did something, like
They
Paul
changed their
Maurice
plan.
coached them up. I think what happened is Florida had something that was working. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3.
which
Well,
was like
no problem.
lockdown defense, like
Lockdown, shut down, don't let them on the inside, keep them on the
score on
outside.
every opportunity you get. Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Then-
Yeah.
It took that long for Edmonton to be like, okay, knob block. Yeah, I found a good counter. Let's work on this in practice. All right, this is how we're going to do zone entries and how we
The
get
counter is play McDavid 3 more minutes a night.
No, but it took like in that game they won 8-1. It was all the depth scoring first,
Yeah.
and then McDavid scored, and then I don't think Draisaitl even scored in the finals
No, he didn't.
in any game.
Well,
Crazy.
neither did McDavid. Oh, he scored 1 goal, right?
He scored in the 8-1 game.
So
He had 8 points in 2 games. so
how are
that's
we
worth
feeling
something.
about this Conn Smythe award?
Well, hold on.
Okay,
Gotta finish my
okay,
train.
yeah.
Finish my train.
Just talk. I'm listening.
Train's going.
Keep talking.
So then Edmonton countered Florida,
Yeah.
wins 3 games, and now Florida is looking at okay, what did they do? Well, we need to counter that, and they countered that in Game 7.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. The other way is that Edmonton just managed to get to their game in those 3 in a row more, where they're like getting speed off the rush, scoring shorthanded,
Mhm.
and like those types of things don't come in a Game 7, because the refs put the whistles away.
And everyone is just, it's a tight, everyone's giving 100% there.
I will say maybe it's just my prediction.
Yeah.
Where how big the first goal of the game is,
First one.
and I think the first goal of the game won every single game of that series.
And,
And I'm correct.
and the Conn Smythe winner, MVP of the playoffs,
That's
Connor
crazy to me.
McDavid. Did you guys
I disagree.
see that coming?
Everyone was saying. I feel like the media was like pushing that narrative, so it was like, but like to me, how could you be MVP if you don't win the cup? Like it has to go to the team that wins.
I
the
think-
cup.
No, like when you're setting records and it goes
No,
to Game 7,
He was scoreless in the last 3 games of the finals.
8 points in the 4 games.
You know what I think it
But
is?
they had won 8-1. They had an
Yeah.
8-1 win, and then the games that actually matter, you don't get a single point.
The last 2, yeah, that's where I was like,
Last
it's
3,
it's
last 3,
questionable.
wasn't it?
Last Game 6 and Game 7, he didn't do
4 or
anything.
5.
Game 5, I think he scored.
4
Game
points.
4, he went pointless. So he went pointless in about 3 out of the 7 games, 4 out of the 7 games.
But
And
got the team all the way to Game 7. I mean, that's
You know what I think?
worth
did he,
something.
or was
Why-
that like
Wow.
the,
I don't
Fo-
team
Fogel
effort.
got him? Fogel was on a 4. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, there was
Fogel was
there was a
crazy.
lot of people around him that were like they relied upon their third, fourth line in that.
Yeah,
in that
Yanmark
finals.
scored a few clutch goals there, too.
You guys are forgetting
What
that
are we forgetting?
the way the NHL looks at these awards isn't about what's going to make the super fans and the players the most, like, what's the most honorable. They're not doing it for that. They're doing it for what's going to look the best for people they're trying to market to, which is people that don't know the game. And they're like, well, McDavid set records, so we're going to give it to them because that's going to draw
Consolation
more
prize.
attention.
Great
Yeah.
point about people who don't know the game, because Florida wins the cup. One of their players this morning, has the Stanley Cup. He's walking out of his hotel or whatever. He's going to take it to the beach. He's walking across the road. He's trying to cross
I
the
saw
street.
that
He's
clip.
trying to cross the street, and there's some surveillance footage of him. And he walks out. He's sitting on the corner, just holding the cup, and he's got it like up over his head, right? And then a car just drives by, another car drives by, and he's like, oh, I guess I got to wait until traffic, right? And then he's sitting there just holding it patiently. Another car
Nothing's
goes
heavy.
by.
He's
Another
like-
car goes by.
His arms are getting tired.
How does no one see the Stanley freaking Cup and a champion holding it on the corner, and they're like, yo, it's the Stanley, and stop and let him cross. Car after, I think it went on for like a minute of cars just slowly driving by and
Tough
not
luck,
noticing
tough
that one of their champions has the cup in it, Stanley Cup, the hardest trophy in sports to win. It's not small. It's not small. It's a massive trophy. It's 35 pounds and like 4 feet tall.
That's the perk of playing in Florida. No
That's
one
it. That's what I'm
knows
saying.
you exist.
It could have been Barkov with his jersey on, right, holding the cup under his arm like this.
Absolutely nobody knows.
And people wouldn't stop and let him go through traffic or even like look and smile. They're just like,
That's
oh,
stuff.
I'm a minute late for work. I can't. I don't want to get stuck in traffic. I'm trying to beat traffic. So he eventually got to cross when there was a break in traffic, but no one stopped and let him.
That's insane.
So I kind of imagine the difference between that and if Edmonton had have won. You know, like you wouldn't be able to go anywhere with that thing without people.
It would have been a
surrounding,
swarm.
Oh yeah,
a swarm.
But I am interested to see though the Amazon documentary because they've been following like
They've been
players.
filming that this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm interested to see like if I become more of a Florida fan just from seeing behind the scenes of that and like
I'm
the
a Florida-
emotions that go
I'm
into
a
that.
Florida
You know,
fan. I'm a
like I
Florida-
already liked Florida. Like as like the players, like I don't really care about the team that much, but the players
I
I
like
really
Barkov.
I like Barkov a lot,
Oh,
and
I see.
Tkachuk, like how can you not like
Yeah.
Tkachuk? You know, like his season
Also-
last year was crazy.
Also, the first Tkachuk to win a cup. His dad did not win it.
Yeah,
I will also say
yeah, that's big.
I'm 1-for-1 in Stanley Cup Finals as a coach.
Oh, good job. Yeah, you did. You did.
Where
pretty
was
good.
I?
Yeah,
Where I
that's
was
true.
in the
That's true.
room.
Yep.
Mm,
I was in the room.
Mhm.
So if any NHL teams want to note that, if you let Coach Chippy in the room, you're gonna win the Stanley Cup. So that's just a thing, though. I just wanted to
Hey,
get that
you
out
think
there.
Chucker is gonna wear like?
I mean, coaching the pros and stuff.
You think Matt's gonna have his Stanley Cup ring on like at every Thanksgiving dinner?
they're golfing.
You think he's gonna be like he's gonna sleep over at his dad's place and Brady's over
He's
there?
got it. He's got an excuse for golf now. From now on, anytime he miss hit, it's like, oh dang, my ring is just
Oh,
it's
my-
just shining in my eyes.
here.
Yeah.
You think he sleeps over at Walt's place and Brady's there, and then he wakes up in the morning, he's just looking around. Oh, guys, what are you looking for, Matt? Maddie, what are you looking for? I just can't find my Stanley Cup ring. Have you guys seen it?
I
Yeah,
know.
Keith's got it
That-
on.
It's like
Dad,
Yeah.
do you have one? Dad, you got one of those.
Where's yours? Where's
I can't-
yours?
I can't
Yeah.
find it.
I
Have you
mean,
seen?
like, how amped up are you? Like, is Brady like actually amped up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously he's your
Brady's
brother.
mad.
He's
Matt's-
obviously your brother, but like, are you kind of like?
Do you guys know what it looks
deep
like?
Down, you're a little bit.
No, I think he's happy, and then he
I
knows
know.
he's like, I'll have my day.
Oh,
you know?
no, so
Yeah.
you guys don't have one. You know what it looks like. Here, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like. You guys can help me find it. You see that? That's what
You
it
know
looks
I
like,
mean?
guys.
Like,
Hey,
'cause, like,
Dad?
if you don't have one, and it's like your brother has one, it's like, damn, man. It's like I really need one of those. Like, and
Yeah.
are you?
Oh.
And it's not one of those ones where you're guaranteed to win a cup in your
Mm-mm.
career, because that thing is tough to win.
Oh,
Talk about Corey Perry. He knows that. He
Oh.
knows that.
I was
Four
just about
misses.
to bring that up.
That's
swing and a miss.
horrifying.
4 times.
Couldn't even.
So I have a question for you guys about Corey Perry, actually. So as you know,
Yep.
he's the Cup Final king,
Oh yeah.
the king of losing in the Cup Final.
Yep. Corey
He-
Purse, the Perry curse.
Yeah, he's almost.
Corey curse.
Is he the only one to have made it that many finals and not won? He's
got
got to be like
Gotta
up
be,
there.
bro.
You know, like the
Yeah.
individual player wise, like and on different teams.
He's
too.
the opposite of Pat Maroon.
I think we were talking about this
Yeah.
last year. Yeah, he's
That's
the opposite
tough,
of
that's
Pat Maroon.
tough.
That's good. But here's the question for you. So Perry, notorious for making it to the Cup Final and losing.
Mm-hmm.
Leafs, notorious for not having long playoff runs.
Yeah.
If given the opportunity, would you
No.
trade for Perry? Like have
Gotta-
Perry on your team
No.
sign?
No.
So a few years back,
What if he
when-
breaks the egg though with the
Well,
Leafs? You know,
I don't
the thing.
know. He was looking slow out there in Game 7.
a few games ago, or a few years ago, the Leafs had the chance to pick up Corey Perry in free agency, and they passed on him. They picked up someone else. I forget who. And
I do remember.
Perry
that.
went to the Canadians, and then
Cup final.
the Canadians just wrecked the Leafs first round. And Corey Perry, I think every game had a goal.
We
or
were
Corey-
up 3-1 in
Yeah.
that series, too.
Yeah.
killer. for
and
sure.
and he's a Leaf killer. And then I said to Hayden, I was like, "Do you think if the Leafs picked up Perry, we would have made it past?" And then Hayden with his logical, "Well, no, because then you change every variable and blah blah blah."
I
But
didn't say
you
that.
did. You had
Yeah,
some like
sounds
smart
like it.
programming response.
You can't
Well, you
predict
can't
that.
predict
You
that
can't predict
because
that
that's-
because there's no way
too
of
many
knowing.
variables. There's too many variables.
Absolutely no way of knowing
If Perry was not on the Montreal Canadiens and he was on the Leafs, he would have not scored those goals that killed the Leafs, and he probably would have contributed because for some reason he contributes in the playoffs. I think they would have made it past the Canadiens in the first round back then. So, asking Hayden's other theoretical question here, should the Leafs pick up Perry. You say no?
What is he, 40 now?
Well, he is getting up there. A little ripe.
Was, like I didn't like.
But he's got that mojo.
I was talking to my dad. I'm like, I don't even know if he should be out there on the ice right now.
That's the thing.
Last game in Game 7 there, he was so.
You ride the vibes, the whatever it is out there in the universe, whatever energy he has to bring the Leafs all the way to the finals.
And then bench him.
And then you say, Perry, kick rocks.
Yeah.
Get out of here. We do not want this.
You got us here. Thank you. Your name will be on the cup.
We're hacking your curse. We're hacking the Corey curse.
Yeah.
We're using it to get us there.
Corey.
Fire him.
You know what?
Terminate his contract.
Pity Perry.
There were some nice players on that Oilers third and fourth line. That what is it?
Matisse.
Yarnick?
Janmark.
Janmark. Yeah.
Man, that guy can play. And
Yeah.
McLeod on the fourth
Ryan McLeod,
line.
yeah.
Why was he on the fourth line?
He's just fast, but he's not necessarily he hasn't caught up to, like, in terms of the mental game with his speed.
I know.
That's what I see.
He's
At
playing
least. Same with
McDavid.
Holloway.
You're gonna learn.
Holloway is like, he kind of
yeah.
looks like McDavid sometimes when
He
he's flying
does,
around
yeah.
the wing.
So does McLeod.
But he doesn't have the hands and the mind to make those plays at that speed.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I would say Draisaitl did not show up.
Mm.
That Stanley Cup final.
He
Had so many back. Like
I don't get.
everyone's like, this is his spot. This is his
He
spot.
needs a
and
new
he missed
stick.
it every time.
Yes.
He didn't hit a single one timer.
He would
do you mean
not
that's his
stop
spot?
shooting from below
He
the
missed it every
circle.
time. He was-
Why are you between the goal line and the bottom of the circle trying to score one
Because he
time?
scored there 37 times.
I know, but
in
it's
regular
not.
season.
It's like it's a very low percentage shot, and I get it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, there's a window, and if you're good and you hit that every time, then sure, feed them the shots there.
I think he should switch to Kucherov's blade.
Kucherov.
There.
Because Kucherov, when he gets one-timers for that angle, he gets it in the top half of the net.
Yes.
Whereas Draisaitl is trying to get it over that pad. But if he has a bigger curve on his stick, he'll nail those.
Yeah.
Al-
maybe-
Also, maybe they didn't have as much time to feed over, so he had to feed it to him faster, so he wasn't used to the
Speed.
pace
Yeah.
of that puck coming at him. But
It's not teed up like a.
No, but
Here you go.
but-
Here you
but
go, Draisaitl.
Kucherov is usually on the circle at least. Like he's on the face-off dot more or less when he's taking his shot, so he has the option
Right.
to shoot or pass.
Yeah, Kucherov is not quite the same spot, but I'm just saying, like, when he gets that one-timer, it's always high.
He missed them. Everyone.
He didn't. He was not even hitting the net.
The only one that he scored on,
He was fluffing.
he didn't actually score. It hit
Deflected.
deflected off the goalie, fell, and then Hyman poked it in.
Yeah.
He needs some lessons from Coach Chip. But
Uh,
I will say, here's a question I have for you guys.
I would love to hear it.
How long does it take the Edmonton Oilers players to get over a loss like that? Like how many days?
McDavid is already on the
Like-
ice training.
How many days? Like
365 when they're in the
yeah.
cup final again next year.
They just did what the
let's not
Panthers.
forget they're making.
The
like,
Panthers
like,
did
like
this.
Davo, like you know what I mean. Like you're maybe mad for a couple days, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go up and play at Magna private golf club. 13 million in the bank. Like
It's
you
fuel.
start-
It's fuel for him.
You start.
I
Putting
think
stuff into
McDavid.
perspective.
I think McDavid and Hyman and them, they'll take it, and it's like,
It's fuel.
okay, this is a learning experience.
Yep.
Just like Florida last year, losing 9-3 to Vegas in the final game.
Game 7.
Yeah.
They got put out,
Yeah.
and what did they do? They
Was it game
answered.
7 or was it game
7?
6?
I think it was game 7.
It's like you kind of feel bad until you realize how much dough they make, and
Right.
all have private golf memberships everywhere, and they're flying.
It's hard to be upset.
It's really hard to be upset.
McDavid's got a new trophy to put.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
about the
It's
trophy.
like how many days? How many days? That's what I'm saying. Realistically, how many
okay.
days until
Real answer.
McDavid's just
365.
he's just pure in the ball on the course?
365.
He never drops it. He doesn't forget it.
You don't forget it, but like you're gonna move on. Like you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like when's he smile next?
Right. Okay, I got you.
Oh well,
It's-
that's not till 2029 when he when he retires.
It's a few days of like, ouch, that hurt, and then you
Like
start
when's
to
he,
be okay with-
when's
in like
he
a
on
week.
the when's
a
he on the
week.
course? Like when's he hitting the links and swinging the ball with the boys?
Give him a week. Give him a
I'd
week.
say like give him like 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
Like you. Come
There's a
back,
difference
you gotta-
between
you gotta
being
clear- you
over
gotta-
it and being on the golf course. Okay.
No, there's not. When you're on the golf course, you're just present, and you're just like,
You know what? He
you know,
could become.
how much, and then he talks. He calls the account. How much money did I put in the bank? Let's go to. We're gonna go to Vegas. Is he gonna be in Vegas for the awards? No.
Yeah. He will.
No way.
NHL awards? Yeah. It's got to be there.
When is the?
No,
when is that?
okay. I say he's not there.
When is the award?
I will be there on.
Or when are the
Thursday.
awards?
Thursday.
Wait,
There's no way.
No, that's not the NHL awards, is it? It's the
Yeah,
draft.
the awards and draft.
Oh,
So there's no way he's there.
Yeah, no, he's not there.
no.
No way.
No, and I don't think any of the Florida Panthers players will be there either.
I don't think so either.
You know, like
Maybe the Florida Panthers guys, because you just won the cup and now you're with. it's kind of a mojo play. Let's go to
There
Vegas.
might be a
Let's
few
go
of
to
them, yeah.
Vegas. We're going to Vegas anyway.
Yeah.
We just won the cup.
Yeah.
The,
yeah.
the
Little-
Oilers guy, no way.
Yeah. No one on the Oilers. is
Avo,
gonna
unless
be
he's
there.
like mandatory for him to be there because the NHL needs him there.
The
for-
only award that McDavid accepts now is the Stanley Cup. It's his new thing. Because how do you feel about him not coming out and getting the Conn Smythe?
I mean, I understand because they all got
Sty
off,
or no
they all-
sty?
They all got off the ice, but like, nah, like, I mean, he got booed.
It is a
too.
tough
He
look
got
to come
booed
back
pretty
out to
hard
collect it and then leave
and get
again.
booed by everyone.
I'm
It's
gonna be honest.
brutal.
I'm in that situation. I don't think I'd come out and grab it because your team just lost. It's a team game. How are you then going to go out and accept an award and win something? Like, I don't want to win anything. I want to win the cup, and that's it. If your team's like, you can't get it.
He was getting some hate online though. He's like,
Yeah.
shows his character not coming out, but like I understand. like,
No, I don't. Because
It shows his character both ways. You could argue it both sides.
what are you going to do? Even if you come out there, you can't be happy about that and be like, yeah, I won. But when your
Yeah.
whole team just lost,
Yeah,
and then you walk in, hey,
brutal.
boys, look what I got. Like, how's that going to feel? Right? It's like, nah, thanks, but, I'm here. I'm with my team.
Go
Right.
collect it, carry it back into the dressing room, drop it in the trash.
Yeah,
Just to show a message.
should Bobby not have won that or?
No, I think it should have been Barkov. If not McDavid, it should have been Barkov. Because think about it.
No.
When you look throughout the playoffs, the first round they played Tampa. Barkov and company, but Barkov was like tasked with not just producing offense, but also being one of the best defensive players in the league. And he shut down Kucherov. Then the next round, it was Pasternak and Marchand. He shut them down. Then the next round, who did they play after Boston?
Dallas.
No, New York. Then it was Zibanejad, Kreider.
Dallas. It was Dallas.
No, I'm not talking Edmonton. I'm talking
Oh,
Barkov.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So he shut down Zibanejad, Kreider, and the likes of them. He shut down all of the highest star power throughout the entire playoffs.
And that's what I'm
And
saying.
still
How does
managed to
McDavid
score.
win it when the other guy shut
no.
him down?
No. I'm saying Barkov should have won it, not
Yeah.
Bobrovsky.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And
That's my
I'm
argument,
saying,
yeah.
how does McDavid win it over anyone that's like they won the cup? They beat you.
Yeah, Bobrovsky should have got it over McDavid in my mind, and Barkov should have been over Bobrovsky. Like that's my tiered list.
So
But-
I'm just looking at the list of players that have been on the opposing team, like the losing team, and won the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, there's only 6 of them.
I think it's only 6 and only one other player. Every other time it was an opposing player, it was their goalie, where the goalie absolutely stood in their head,
Right. Yeah.
right? But their team just couldn't score,
Right.
and right. So the last
They'd give it to the goalie because it's like you gave us a run.
Yes.
Yeah.
which
like-
it's the most heroic performance is the goaltending performance.
Yeah.
So the last time it happened was in 2003. It was J.S. Jagier for the Anaheim.
Oh yeah.
Jaguar.
Jagier.
Air.
Yeah.
Jagier.
Like I get it. But what if he doesn't score those 8 points in those 2 games? Like it was a blowout win. Like you get 4 and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I
he didn't
think
get it done. I don't know.
I think I would feel differently about it if Edmonton had 3 goals last night
Yep.
and McDavid was in on all of them and they still lost. Then I'd be like, okay, yeah, like it wasn't because of him that they didn't win
Yeah.
in the end, But like watching that game,
he
yeah,
went scoreless in the
it's-
last
it's-
2 Stanley Cup elimination games.
It's the
like,
Florida ice. So like there is that excuse, but you see McDavid bobbling the puck and falling and stuff. Like did you
Everyone was-
see him like do like he was
Yeah, he
trying to
kept
do his
falling, he kept
cutbacks
falling,
and he
yeah,
kept
yeah.
falling. Like
Mm.
but it's hard to say like oh he wasn't in it, like he wasn't focused. No, he was. It's just hard with that ice, but if he makes those cutbacks, makes those plays and they end up scoring 3 goals, even if they lose, I think that he would have like I wouldn't
even
have
if
argued
Even
it.
if he got like a point or two.
Yeah,
or
you know.
whatever.
The only other player to win in a loss,
The Conn Smythe.
Reggie Leach, 1976,
Reggie
Philadelphia
Leach.
Flyers. He set a record with 19 playoff goals.
19 goals.
Goals.
Yeah.
I
What a
was getting up
performance.
there.
I wonder what the goals per game average was back then though.
Oh, I don't know. It's up
Yeah.
there, but like that's a performance. And like I've heard of Reggie Leach, but not as one of the greats. So he was just otherworldly. You know what I mean? Like a completely unexpected performance to come out and get 19 goals, and only one other player has ever gotten.
What if they gave it to McDavid just because they have the script and they know that Edmonton's never going to win the cup with him?
Oh,
So
boy.
they're like, we got to give him one Conn Smythe while he's with Edmonton.
I mean, it's one of those trophies where you may never get there again. Like that's how tough it is.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ovi. Ovi went like a long time. Never made it to a final.
True.
Yeah.
Imagine McDavid's only cup is when he's like, it's his 21st season in the NHL. He's a fourth
He gets
liner
traded
with
to, like, a
like
wagon.
Utah. Fourth liner with Utah, and he wins it.
Yeah. So who do you guys think is winning the cup next year?
You think it's Edmonton after that bitter taste? They come
I
back.
think it
like
takes
Florida
them.
did?
I think it takes them 2 years to get back to the final.
Tough to get
Dallas.
to the final, bro.
Do you think Dallas?
But if Edmonton picks up a star goalie,
Mm.
like because Skinner was like he was there.
What are we thinking about that goal, that Reinhardt goal? That
Can
was,
we stick on the who's winning the cup final?
Who's winning the cup?
first?
Give us an answer.
Yeah,
Leafs? Do we mean the Leafs are winning the cup?
Leafs are winning the cup.
We're running it
yeah.
back with the boys
Of
again.
course they are.
We're running it back. We're running it back.
Apparently, Marner's getting traded to Utah.
Apparently, he's getting re-signed.
That's what I also heard.
So
I'm going Carolina next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some basketball reporter who's verified on X said that he's hearing rumors that he's getting traded to Utah. So
interesting.
Is that guy from Utah?
Well,
just-
I'll ask Mitch when I'm at
Yeah,
the
yeah, you-
charity event next week.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy about that.
Just
Hey, Mitch.
hey, Mitch, remember me? No, okay. So are you getting traded to Utah or what? What?
Mitchy.
Mitch, where you going? Mitch, come back here, Mitch.
You're like running after him.
Mitch, I just wanted to
Coach some
talk about
insider.
your contract extension with the
It
Leafs.
sounds like a South Park episode.
Give Coach some insider here. Mitch, he give Coach some insider information.
Yeah.
Mitch, he must have not heard me.
That is funny.
Yeah.
No, okay, that's.
I'll ask him again the next time I see him.
Okay, but you were talking about the Reinhardt goal, Chippy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, what do we feel like? Is that a fluky goal? Like that's a tough.
That
goal to
tip?
let- That's
Was it the deflection?
No, he just ripped it short side, low
Was
glove.
he screened? Like
Oh, I
kind
see.
of went through, and it wasn't.
The angles they showed didn't make it look like Skinner was screened, but then the way that it reacted made me think that he didn't see it till it was already like right at him. So Reinhardt's one of the best. He's had one of the best shots the entire year.
Oh, he came down wide and then kind of looked like he was.
It was
gonna
like a
pass.
3-on-2.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't-
and then
you
he
can't let
comes.
him walk in
He
like
takes
that.
the center a little bit more, and he's like, "I'm gonna rip."
Yeah,
Just
but like
rip it.
it's like
He's a
if that
shooter.
was McKinnon, would you fault Skinner for letting it in? No, but I'd say Reinhardt this year has had equally lethal of a shot from in the slot area as any player in the league. So to let that in, it's like, yeah, you're gonna. The fact that he didn't score one like that the whole other rest of the series, but he got one in the final is just a testament to show that Skinner was doing really good up until that point, and Reinhardt finally got what was coming to him. You know, like he didn't have many chances like that to rip it, and if you give Reinhardt that, he's going to score like 3 out of 5 times, is my guess. Like,
What's crazy? 3 Buffalo Sabres, or former Buffalo Sabres, winning the cup. It was Okposo, Reinhardt,
oh yeah,
And
And-
former Leafs, Verhaeghe,
Verhaeghe, and
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, but they didn't really put much time in. Like Okposo and Reinhardt were like, and who was the other Sabre? I forget. It's escaping me now. But yeah, 3 former Sabres hoisting the cup. That's pretty
I'm drawing a blank.
pretty impressive, and also kind of. Oh no, it was actually 4.
Was it Rodriguez?
No, it was 4. 3 this year on the Panthers, and then last year was Jack Eichel.
Oh yeah,
left to win it with like.
Yeah, so the Leafs need to get someone from Buffalo in this trade with Marner.
There we go.
They got to work Buffalo into a 3-way trade somehow
Give
just
us
to
one of
get
those-
someone.
One of those defensemen they're stacking up.
Yeah,
every
Owen
year.
Powers?
They are
Get
stacking.
Owen
Up.
Powers,
Defensemen are insane. They got what's the other guy from
Darlene, they got
Colorado?
Powers, they got Byram.
Byram.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We got Jack Eichel who won it, and then Okposo, Brandon Montour, and Sam.
Oh,
Reinhart.
Montour, I forgot.
How did
Yeah.
like? Does that say that Buffalo is just bad at developing their players?
or just I don't know.
Like, oh, we have 4 cup win. Like,
I think it's just bad vibes. There's too
Mon-
much
Yeah.
yeah.
bad vibes. Like you go to Florida.
Florida, and it's sunshine.
Good vibes.
Taxes.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
No winter.
Could you imagine Matt Tkachuk? How happy is he to get traded from Calgary? Could you imagine you stayed in Calgary, Alberta? Where would you rather be?
Hey, what are you saying about Calgary?
Watching
No,
Edmonton in the final with the team that you could have
no,
been traded
Did you
to.
see what he said? He's like, "Oh, I did this one for Calgary. Couldn't let Edmonton win."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's-
Oh no way. That's hilarious. But what a great trade for him. He got out of Calgary.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Now he's living in Florida.
That's what I'm
He's
saying. It's
paying
a cheat
barely
code.
any
It's
tax.
a cheat code.
He's making more, paying less tax, and he's on the beach
And there's
and
no
winning
winter.
a Stanley Cup.
There's no winter,
He's
and he golfs every
winning a
day,
Stanley Cup.
and you're
Yeah.
tan all year round.
I don't know.
It's literally such an advantage to have the sunlight every day in the winter. Like, you know how much more healthy you are when you don't have to be
It's tough.
lacking sunlight in
Yeah.
Mental health. too,
mental
like,
health. It's like ridiculous. They should
You can actually regenerate.
like they should they,
Like you're literally charging
they
your
should
brain.
have to win an
Their
extra game.
freniums are going to
They
be
should have
so
to win an
charged.
extra game. No, I'm serious.
All their
serious.
games
So,
count as 0.75 points.
They
their
should have to
wins.
win an extra game to win the cup. Like,
Okay.
Because these people have to live in Edmonton where it's freezing cold, and then you guys get to live in the Sunshine State.
Hey, I'm gonna give this one. That's a cold take.
Mm.
Cold
Hold
state.
on. I'm going to get even colder here.
Yeah, what are we saying?
You give a multiplier to each team depending on their geographic location.
Yeah, you're damn right.
What
you do.
is the most attractive city? So cities like Vegas and Florida, their salary
They're the
cap-
ones winning
their-
every year.
Their
man.
salary cap is a little lower.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're in Winnipeg, your salary cap is like 1.2x higher
Like
because it's colder there. and
1.5.
the yeah.
There was something that came up. I was listening to it on the Steve Dangle podcast,
Yeah.
and they made a good point, or someone made a good point, that the Leafs were in on the trade for Markstrom, and they had a comparable offer to what the Devils were giving. But the reality is that no team wants to trade to Toronto unless they're giving more than anyone else,
Yeah.
and that's just the reality that is being. Leafs
Everyone
fans.
hates Toronto.
Everyone hates Toronto. They know that if they want to get someone, they can demand more, and if not, they'll just go to someone else.
They
Like
know
literally,
Yeah, I'll just go play
but-
in Arizona.
the difference is that Tree Living didn't take the bait and give more to get Markstrom. They're like, okay, fine. You know, like Calgary just wanted to do it to screw over Tree Living, not to actually get a
Here-
deal. That's
here-
what
so
Steve was saying.
if you're a genius GM, you just operate all your trades through other teams. Like you make friends with people who have no chance of winning the cup.
Yeah,
You get them to get your trade, and then you trade with them to get the player you actually want.
it's like it's like the
Interesting.
politics, right? You're not you have to befriend the people that are the enemies of the teams that you want to.
That's what. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're like they'll give you a good deal just because they know they want to screw over that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the game you have to play as a GM. It's like mental warfare.
So you get Buffalo to acquire Allmark, right? If you need a good goalie,
Yeah.
and then you go acquire him from
Yeah,
Buffalo.
Boston's like, yeah, we'll give you Allmark,
Yeah.
and this for like a first round pick or something like that, and then Toronto's like, yeah, now you can have.
He had
You give Buffalo all the good
he had
players.
Toronto
Yeah.
on his no trade.
Oh yeah.
Like, how many no trades is Toronto on? Like, everyone in the world wants to go play in Florida or Vegas.
Yeah,
or,
because you can stand on the corner of the road with
That's
the
what-
Stanley
or
Cup in your hand and
Nashville.
That's
not
what
get
drives me
harassed.
crazy is when I'm talking to like older guys about the game. It's like, what's with all these hot like climates winning the cup and stuff now? And I'm like, it's because that's where players want to be.
Low
you
pressure.
You
Yeah.
will take a discount to go to Florida. I will take a
So
discount.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You need the big lights players. You need like Stankoven in Toronto because he won't mind being under the spotlight, right? He's got ice in his veins. That type of player. Guys that are gritty and
Like the advantage
grew
that
up
the
with
Leafs
it.
should have is that there's tons of guys that grew up playing in the GTA that want to come back and play here. But the problem is they come back and it's
No.
like, well, it's Toronto, so I want more money.
but they get rid of him.
It's
like
like-
Verhaeghe was like a huge Leafs fan, grew up
Yeah.
in the city, and they didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, that's just
And-
the old management being dumb.
Right? And like, oh yeah, no, we don't want good old Ontario boys,
Yeah.
right? But
The other thing is the Leafs just, I've said this before, and we talked about it with Stankoven too, is the Leafs don't give their young players enough time to develop without pressure. And like the reason that players like Stankoven go to other teams and have success right away is because they're not under so much scrutiny. Like I know everyone says, oh, the media, and like it shouldn't be that big a deal. You should be able to do your job and play. But it's the reality is if you're 19 trying to get into the league and people are saying, do you think you're going to make it to the second line? Like you want to play with Matthews, you want to, like Matthew Nyes is a good example of someone who took that and ran with it and was successful. But then guys like Nick Robertson, it just completely sewers their entire development. Like they can't do anything.
Well, it's the way we managed Robertson. If I'm him, I'm like, let's get out of here. I'm not staying here.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be a 40 goal scorer. Mark my words. I've been saying, and I want people to come back to this. And I've been saying it multiple podcasts. He's going to score 40 goals
Flip
in the NHL.
Flip it.
Not for the Leafs, and he's going to win a cup.
Mm,
And we're all going to be like, oh, it's another
Another
Verhaeghe
Verhaeghe,
situation where he's a 40-goal scorer and he wins the cup. And you're like,
Yeah.
how did we get rid of him? And well, it was because we didn't want to give him any time to develop. We benched him every
need to
other game when he
trade
was
Marner,
scoring every game.
Trade Marner, put Robertson there,
Oh
and just
my
call it a day.
But here's the
Beef-
thing.
Beef with Keefe still.
Even if we're
Benching Robertson every other game
Yeah.
when he scores every other
Crazy.
game. It's ridiculous.
well, new coach Craig Berube going to fix all that. Even if Verhaeghe stayed with the Leafs, though, he wouldn't even got a sniff. He would have been stuck with third and fourth line minutes and not worked his way.
Well, weren't they trying to lose at that point?
We got to reconfigure. We got to reconfigure.
Well, nobody's
our
good
whole
now,
team.
but that's what I'm
We gotta
saying.
Reconfigure whole team.
Like, what was that fast guy, Mikheyev? Mikheyev wanted to move up.
Sniper.
And the Leafs.
McKay's not a sniper.
Yes, he is, bro.
He's
McKay's
fast. He's
breadbasket galore.
he went further than the Leafs did this year.
But I'm saying,
I
like,
guess, yeah.
he wanted those top two lines, but the spots are all taken. Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, Marner. It's like, oh, so we got no space for talent up here.
Yeah.
Aren't talented enough. We can't just do anything. So
Yeah, the teams with less pressure also have less pressure to ice the best lineup possible every year.
Yeah.
So then they discover more talent because there's more room to play guys.
exactly.
Like the coaches have more flexibility, really.
Yeah.
Like Keefe, if he wasn't under so much pressure to keep the top guys performing all the time, like if they had a little bit more rounded out roster, then you would discover talent with guys that are getting ice time that you didn't expect to. You know?
I've got the fix. We're just
Jared's got the fix.
I've got the fix. So
I do too. So
Chippy
let me
gets.
know.
I like how we made this about the Leafs.
It's always about the Leafs.
It's always about the Leafs.
Chippy gets hired as the Maple Leafs sports psychologist.
I'm telling
Gets
you.
the boys flowing,
I'm telling
not
you.
thinking, just flowing, right? And then it's just they're all happy. Everyone's happy, right? I think we've all concluded that the problem with the Leafs is that the players are just under too much pressure.
The problem is they're
And-
gatekeeping them. They're gatekeeping them from funny people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let any fun in. They don't let any fun. It's everything serious. Everything's got to be, my way, highway.
Yep.
Well, my way, highway ain't working there, MLSE. Sorry.
And the last fix
Let the
is
boys in.
right at training camp. Everyone shows up and they hand in their phone, and they go out and skate. While they have their phones, they put just a little microchip in there.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to every
And
conversation.
it filters out any negativity. So when they're scrolling through Instagram, all they see is positive
Good
things about
vibes only.
themselves.
You
right?
know I've already. You already know why I know, but you already know that I know why we lose.
Yeah.
And it's just because of mindset of Toronto Maple Leafs fans. I mean, it's just when we believe that we're
And-
losers, we're gonna be losers.
And those fans would be eliminated from any of their comments and automatically filtered. So they only see good things, right? So if one of the players,
What if there's no good things to show?
then you get funny cat videos.
Oh yeah, a good default on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. So NHL season's over, and
Now we start
Now
talking
what?
about the draft,
Now
the
what?
NHL awards,
do we?
any trades that get
Macklin
made.
Celebrini.
Do you have any rants? Like, what happened in your life this week that's funny?
I was talking to my friend who is an eye doctor, and I said, "Excuse me, eye doctor, have you noticed the shape of the kids that you see? Have you noticed the shape of their eyes are changing?" And she kind of looked at me a little funny, and I said, "Myopia?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, yes,
What?
20 cases a week of myopia."
What's that? So you
Look
like-
at screen time.
It
Yeah,
is
too much screen time.
It is kids, and I thought, because I saw a video on this, or like I read a news article, that kids are developing myopia at an alarming rate, and I thought, oh, maybe only in like third world countries, where no, it's in Canada, where basically kids have too much screen time, they're on too many devices, they are becoming nearsighted. They're only looking at things this far away from their face, and their eyeballs are actually changing shape, so they cannot see things far away anymore.
Sheesh.
She says she's getting like 20 cases a week, and she has a whole myopia plan, and like she has to tell them to like stop every 20 minutes and look at something far away for a few minutes. Like
no.
isn't that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. It's
Isn't that
exactly what we're doing to ourselves. It's like,
When I was younger, I would sit with my feet under the entertainment unit and watch TV. like.
Oh yeah, like.
But I didn't
yeah, yeah.
watch for like hours on hours. It
Yeah.
was like half an hour a day, maybe.
How much
And-
screen time are
and,
kids getting?
and that caused damage to my eyes. Like that's the only reason that I
Ooh.
need glasses for like reading things far away. But I never really wear them.
My eyes are
But
blind.
I had perfect eyesight before that. You know, like it wasn't genetic or anything. It
Oh.
was just from watching the screens, supposedly. But
yeah.
100%, 100%, 100%.
and those weren't even the high res quad HD with all the pixels burning into your eyes. It was just like fuzzy.
Eyeballs are being fried.
It was just the antenna. You know, like the
eyeball
fuzzy.
fry situation.
So, do
Makes
you
sense,
think,
makes
like,
sense.
say 50 years from now, all the kids are just gonna be screen
Blind?
zombies?
Yep.
Like, eventually,
Yep.
every parent is just like,
yes.
everyone is a device.
That's exactly it.
and Chippy's fueling it.
They'll be.
Exactly it. We're all gonna be on feeding tubes. We're not gonna leave.
Coach Chippy will be
we're gonna have our
the
meta-
sole
We're
content
gonna have
creative.
our
You've worked your way
meta
up.
goggles. We're gonna have our meta goggles on. We're gonna glue them to our face.
I got you. There's everybody will have braces installed in their collarbone that holds the device that far
Yep.
from with a feeding tube coming out. And Chippy, by that time, you have multiplied yourself using AI,
Chippy's
and-
feeding tube product.
and you are the only content creator in the world. You make every single video.
And
And it's just
everyone
duplicated and multiplied.
programmed.
And then it's also made based on each person's interest. So if someone likes cats, you're like,
Oh,
meow,
yeah.
meow, meow, meow.
Algorithm. We are the algorithm. We are feeding the algorithm.
I am curious at what point do people like businesses, I guess
Yeah.
technically, or like multi-millionaires, billionaires, at what point do they stop to think about what they're doing versus what's going to make the most money? Because that's
Well,
where the
yeah.
most damage is caused is when they're like, this, like TikTok, this is the best advertising platform we've ever seen. Pump it down everyone's
It's the
throat.
most addictive.
How much money can we make here?
They want usage. Keep on having more people spending more time
I
on that.
feel
How
like-
can we get
Well,
people to spend
like,
more
Like
time?
as governments, there should be more pressure on like these big businesses to have health as a primary concern over monetary
What
gain.
happens when the people that are running the government are benefiting off the money they're receiving from these businesses? So what's the
Yeah, well,
point?
that's like
But-
That's the
lobbying,
problem.
yeah.
That's the
Here's
problem.
the thing: the
the
government
problem.
shouldn't control the people because the people. Why don't they just look after themselves?
Exactly.
Because they can't control
We need
themselves
to
because
look
it's
at-
too
we need someone
addictive.
to help us control our life, and that's the point I was getting at the beginning when I'm around for prime minister.
Yep.
Is like, why do we need another human being to control what we do and say? Like, what makes this person know what's going on this earth more than you or another adult? Like, that's my thing. Like, why do we need one person running? Like, who is
Oh,
this guy?
one person,
Who
yeah.
are you?
Mm.
Who are you to think that you could run a country? Like, who are you? What
Puppet.
kind of messed up
He's a
person
puppet.
thinks they could run a country and control what another adult does in their life and what they should do with their life? Like, it's insane to me.
I mean,
But that's
it's
just my awakening that I've gone under, my
not-
spiritual awakening where I
there's a
realized
difference between
no one's
democracy
saving
and
us.
dictatorship, though. It's not one person making all the decisions
I
why,
wouldn't
why do we have
mind-
one person? Why do we have one person though?
I wouldn't mind being a dictator.
as a front
How
for
do you
the
feel
rest
about
of
that?
I wouldn't mind being. All of us want to be a dictator. All of
That'd
us
be kinda
want
cool.
power and be hungry. But the one person that
No,
is-
but could you imagine like a dictator, but actually have the best interest of the people in mind?
Oh, every dictator thinks they have the best.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
That's what I said. That's what I said. My leadership would be letting people.
Jerry, you could be
control
like,
themselves.
I'm doing everyone a service. McDonald's are closed. Salads for everyone. Everyone gets their own cow.
How dare
Every
you tell
problem
us
is
what I
solved.
can eat?
What could you be possibly mad about? And people will be like, well, we really like McDonald's, so we hate you now.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's what I'm
that
saying.
you can't please
That's what I'm
everyone.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't.
And even as a full, like, with democracy, with all the parties and everything, it can have one group of
Have you
people in mind,
seen
but
these
it can't
debates?
please everyone.
I think pleasure is the problem. It is pleasing to have
Mm.
that salty, crunchy sweetness and to have those
People
dopamine
still hate you.
signals when you're. I know.
Sometimes I'll catch a little TikTok clip of like what's going on in the parliament debates, and I'm like,
It's wild.
these are the morons that we're listening to.
Dude, it's like toddlers
These
fighting.
morons are what is running our country.
It is kind of funny how
I just can't believe it. I actually can't believe. I'm like, this is hilarious.
it's like
And I'm like, I gotta get out of here because
What's
this,
up, Jerry?
where
it's
are
like
we
a
going?
bad rap battle.
It's terrible. It's
It's like they're just
it's
dissing each other, and then the whole crowd's
insane.
like, "Oh!"
I know they're like, oh,
Oh.
hear ye, they're slapping the hammer, and the hammer guy is on one, and the hammer guy's biased to the one side now, and It's like they're calling each other names. It's
I
like,
know.
are you insane?
They're just trying to burn each other.
And like this is
Oh, news here.
what?
Allmark traded to the Sens. Did
That
you guys
was
see
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
yesterday before the game.
Yeah, Allmark got traded this.
Oh, it says here on mine it was only 2 hours ago.
and
You just
Jersey
get-
gets
you just get a new
Corpusalo.
phone?
What did you say, Jer?
Who gets Corpusalo? But who was it?
I
It
didn't
was
see that
awful
one.
return. It was awful return. Apparently.
What? It was Allmark that got traded, not Corpus.
To who?
To the Sens.
For an awful return,
Senators.
right?
Ottawa
but,
Senators.
but didn't Senators have Corpusalo?
They traded him, right?
I don't know. I just saw something Corpusalo.
Oh yeah, he came back in the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good goalie.
Yeah, I think that Boston is probably smart to do that because Allmark's getting older. He was a Vezina candidate.
They got Swayman.
Yeah.
He's gonna be their guy.
Yeah, so they just need a guy to back up that's good. And Corpusalo could end up being a starter down the line for them. I could see it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like goalies peak so late. Like Corpusalo definitely has the potential to be a good starter, but so that's great news for the Leafs. All the good goalies are being traded to other teams, and they're probably going to end up running with Joseph Wall and whoever else back there. Probably Martin Jones again if they can sign him, or I don't know.
They'll bring up some prospects.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know enough about the NHL players and what's going on. Like
What do you know?
I don't
Are we
know much about NHL.
are we bringing down the Canadian government?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what this podcast is about now. Just how we're gonna make Canada great.
So that the Leafs can finally win the cup?
Exactly.
What's step one?
I think making it more of an attractable country to live in. I think would be step one. Because who wants to come live here?
Give
when
me
you're getting
one thing
taxed out of the
specifically.
what do you mean?
Like, what's one
Ow.
thing, like as minute as you can think of, that would make Canada better?
I got something.
One thing.
One thing, like lower gas prices.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Here-
Lowering. We already talked about this. Like, not having. Like, there's like so infinite things I could think of to make Canada better. Like, change the weather.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah, what? Who's controlling the weather
No,
up
to be
here?
honest, they
Change
should
the weather,
they should 10x the chemtrails. They're not doing enough right
Not
now.
enough chemtrails.
Not enough chemtrails up there to change the weather.
Jer, what was yours?
Yeah, Jared's
I-
got some stuff here.
I would
know Jared.
love to see more of a push because Canada has like the CBC and their whole.
Oh yeah, I would.
know what I
I would
mean?
get rid of the media.
See-
I would get rid of this
Well-
absolute crapshoot we got going on with the garbage they're feeding us every day. There's one.
I think why not use it for good? And they've got money that they put towards subsidizing different messages and
How about
putting
positive
out
messages?
That's
How about
that's what I'm
stuff that's
going
not
with.
instilling fear every day?
Why not?
9 million people died, and tornado warning, and you'll never go on there and see anything positive. It's just like life sucks if you're watching the news.
So
like
we,
it's like
we
what
need
is good
to
about life?
instill in the members of Canada.
How about
our
comedy?
society.
How about we introduce more comedy?
What?
Comedy would be great.
Let Jer finish his point.
I'm coming in.
I would love
We're
if
working together. Jared and I are working together on constructing. something.
we're building a thing right here.
Yeah, so I'm trying to align with them.
Let's get it on TikTok and Instagram because they used to have these little messages like our heritage moment, right? And they'd have it on TV where people were. So get these sponsored messages and dump some money onto all the social media about what it means to be Canadian. What does it mean? Let's instill these values of togetherness and respect and looking out for one another, right? Give us some pride of like who we are and what we do, and this is what Canadians are, right? So we can all feel that way, and discipline and hard work, and just
I feel like that's the narrative that they're pushing. What's it mean to be Canadian? How about we just had some humor? How about we add some like? I feel like we take it too serious. I feel like we
Yeah.
just take it too serious. What's it mean to be Canadian?
I feel
I don't know, laughter or at the dock. You know what I mean? Like what? That's what it is. Adding more laughter. Like Canadians are funny. Canadians are great people.
Here's my
And
thinking.
Where's the humor? Where's like some humor from our leader? Something making us laugh. It's all we gotta respect everybody. Well, how about we respect them by making some people laugh and being a good person and having some good banter around the campfire or at the cottage or at the hockey? Where's the humor from our government that's making people laugh and not feel like life has to be
I
a serious thing where people are just there's not enough
humor
laughter, bro.
is so subjective that if they started pushing humor, then people are like, "Ooh, our government's a literal joke. this isn't funny because of this.
It is a joke because they're taking it serious. The joke is that they're taking it serious when life isn't serious. That's the problem. Is we're taking life serious when it's not. It's
The way
like,
I feel
You're
about
a
it,
little serious right now.
yeah, it's not serious because I'm
Okay.
seriously pissed off
Aiden?
at their government.
the way that I feel about Canada
Uh-huh.
is that I wouldn't change anything.
Oh,
because-
my
He's the
God,
Leafs. He's the Maple Leafs.
No, wait.
All right.
You gotta hear me out.
Yeah. Okay.
Because life in general is never going to be easy, no matter where you live. There's going to be problems. There's going to be people that are happy with certain things and unhappy. You can't please everyone. Some people like comedy, some people don't, you know?
Who doesn't like comedy?
Dude,
No, there's people that are so serious they can't laugh at anything.
I was at
Well,
the same
those
stage.
people we don't listen
I'm
to.
not-
Those
okay,
people
forget
don't
the comedy
deserve to
thing.
be alive.
Forget the comedy.
Okay, we get rid of those.
I'm
people.
saying that I wouldn't
Move
change
them from our
anything
country.
because there's a certain reward that comes from going through diversity and learning how to get through challenges. And even though things aren't perfect, you'll enjoy the things that you do have and enjoy more from the things that you had to go. If everything was easy, then nothing would be fun.
Oh, we need some
know?
adversity for sure, but like
Yeah.
celebrate the adversity and celebrate the moments and like find hardworking Canadians
Yeah.
and put a spotlight on them and tell their story of like Alexander Graham Bell and Terry Fox and show who some of the great Canadians,
Yeah.
right? And then young kids can aspire and be like, oh, I want to be like this guy because he's from Canada and I'm from Canada too, and I can.
There's a
relate
guy
to that.
running across Canada right now in honor of Terry Fox.
Go
Ryan something, I think his name is.
Celebrate that. Showcase, the positives and
That's
have
what
more
I'm saying.
people
How
aspire
about
towards that.
some more positive aspects of life.
Chippy, I got a great story for you. It's actually a little sad. But when I was in my early 20s, I went to Australia and I got a job at a comedy club and I was selling tickets door to door to this comedy club. It was a group of about 5 or 6 aspiring comedians
Mhm.
that would sell tickets at a discount, and we would go to like businesses. So I got to go to like the rural backcountry parts of Australia, go to like some business park and go from place to place trying to sell tickets to businesses. And I was like, this will be easy. Everyone loves stand-up comedy. I love stand-up comedy and everyone does too.
Yeah.
And I would walk with
How
these
good at
tickets.
Sales were you?
Well, that's the thing. So when my first day, I'd walk in and I'd open the door and be like, hey, do you guys like stand-up comedy? And they just look at me right in the face, be like, nah, not a fan. Dressed like a Harden, like a grizzly 50-something Aussie. Nah, not a fan, Mike. Right? Like, oh. But why don't you get the guys together? Nah, I don't want to do that. Oh. All right, well then.
Enjoy your day.
Have a great day. You too. So I learned quickly that no, not everyone does like comedy or stand-up comedy. It's like, I don't get it. I just don't think it's funny. I heard that.
No, like,
I had to change my
we were
pitch.
talking
Like,
about-
it's like humor. Like humor doesn't have to be stand-up comedy. It's, like, it's just humor in general.
Some people don't really like laughing.
That's like insane. That's the only.
We
that's
were
the
talking
highest-
about
the highest vibrating frequency that a human being could be on is
Yeah.
laughter.
We
Eh?
should just get together and tickle each other.
There's
Yeah.
more news.
Oh.
The
We're
big-
talking about Canada.
Mm.
John Cooper will be coaching the Canada Olympic team in
Oh,
2006.
good.
Yeah.
People were saying maybe Paul Maurice, but John Cooper, I think he's.
I think
great.
they can't go wrong with having
Oh,
Cooper behind the
Coop
bench.
is
I don't know what the assistant, like
He's
what
cool
the
guy.
whole staff
He's
is going to
cool.
be, but
So Stammer's on the team then.
oh yeah,
Right?
fair.
He
But I
finally
mean, the
gets-
GM makes a lot of the because they had the manager of it is who really decides what team is put on the.
When
ice.
is this? When is this?
2006, or sorry, 2026, I think.
No, Stamkos isn't on the team.
Nah, he's gonna be too
yeah,
old.
in what 2 years?
Yeah, it's 2 years. Summer Olympics are this
Like,
year.
Crosby might not be on the team.
I know, eh?
Yeah, it's tough.
He might not, to be honest.
Let them ride on the plane over to Italy just to be there with everyone for the vibes.
He will
Oh.
be. He'll be on the fourth line.
I saw a quote that Crosby and McKinnon were golfing and talking about the line pairings for the power play.
Oh,
Right? That's what
they're
they're
already
chatting
planning.
about.
McKinnon said he'll take the wing. and,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
great.
that's actually gold.
All right, let's wrap it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap it there.
Have yourself.
Congratulations to Florida
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
bringing a cup down there
Hey,
for the first time.
Congratulations.
I
for
hope that everyone on the streets and the beach enjoys it and
Yeah.
doesn't just look at them like, "What are you doing?"
Congratulations for
Congratulations.
having great weather
just having a
and
life
low
that's
income
better than every other
taxes
players
and a
in the
Stanley
league.
Cup winning team.
Gonna
Just
change
really
the
happy
world
for
really
you.
happy that they get
So nice.
with my
sunshine every day, golfing.
Gonna
Congratulations.
make
Stanley
a real
Cups.
difference.
Super.
Feed the poor. and
Super.
the-
I'm moving there, just so you guys know.